Welcome to How to Excel. Today we are going to learn how to create an inventory management system for an electronic shop, name or buy now. To start, let us know the learning outcomes that will actualize from this. We are going to learn so many practical Excel tips and tricks, which includes the if statement, which we'll use to generate the stock status, okay, and also the timestamp, okay. So we are going to also use the VLOOKUP. We are going to use data validation. We are going to use some if function. We are going to create table. We are going to create dashboard and more. So it's going to be a long lesson. So I would advise that you sit back and get a glass of water or coffee or tea, because the tutorial will be a long one. Okay, so we are going to start by creating a new workbook. So go to home and select new. So we have created a new workbook, and the next action we will do is to begin to create sheets, the sheets that will need to carry out all the activities. So we are going to create our sheet. We have like 6 sheets. The first one is the dashboard. The dashboard. The second one is the purchase. Sales. Return. Stock. Supplier. Customer. Customer. So we'll continue. Having created the worksheet, we'll go back to the previous workbook to get the table headers and the title to make our work faster, to save time. So come here and copy the purchase headers and title. Okay. Let's format this table and create a table. So I don't have to create another table. Ctrl T. My table has header. Ensure that that is selected. So let's title our table properly. So this is purchase. So title it as purchase. So copy it again into the cells. The table has header. We'll call this one cells. Change the title. Sales activity. Stock out. So we are taking our stock out when we make sell. Stock in and stock out. Okay. So we'll move again, we'll copy to the returns. Change the table headers again, and this is return. So title it return, let's say sales return activities. So this return is stock in, because they are bringing back the goods to the stock. So we'll move further to the stock. So this stock contains two activities. The first one is the product information. So in some circumstances, the product information, a complete table could be created for it, and the stock summary will have a different table because it is calculated from the sales, purchase, and return. But in our case, the stock summary is a composite of the product information, that is the stock information, and the stock summary. Okay, let's get that clear. So let's go to the previous table to copy the stock. So you see what I mean? From here to here is the stock information. This is the stock information, and from here to the end is the stock summary. Okay, so that's two tables that's supposed to form here, but we make it to be one table. So let's copy the header, so stock summary. So let's create our table. And title like stock. So we're going to also copy the stock information. That is the product information. Okay, so that is that. So the next action is for us to get the supplier information. including their name. In some instances, the supplier is issued a code, so it's important for us to note that. So, but in our case, we just use a serial number. So let's create our table. Call it supplier. And the last one is the customer. You'll get the customer information. And customer details. Customer detail and document number. I think that is necessary. So let's create our table. I'll label it as customer. So we have succeeded in creating our table. The next action is for us to format the table and start inputting the necessary formula. So let's format the table and create our hyperlink so that the table can be connected to the dashboard. So for the purchase activity, change the table color to something that is reddish. Okay, so this one look like red. Let's use this. Let's use this. So to format this table, we can remove the filter button. We can remove the banded. I think that's okay. For the cells, we're going to use something greenish. So you touch the table, go to table design, and select green. So green. We'll come back here again, remove the filter button, remove the banded row. Okay. Then we'll move to the return. Which color do we use here? We'll use I think blue is good. Let's use blue. Remove the filter button, remove the banded. Then we'll go to stock. Let's use something dark for the stock. Use ash color. Remove the banded. Remove the filter button and the banded. Okay. We go to the supplier. We use Let's use purple for the supplier. Move the bandit. Move the filter. Okay. Look like there is another table design happening here. So go to the customer site. I use plain. Move the filter button, bountiful, and clear the formats. Let's use this. Let's use this for that. Okay, we are through with the table. So our table is now ready. The next thing we do is to create a hyperlink for our sheets. So to do that, we are going to insert shape. Let's format the shape to match our style. Let's put outer shadow. Let's lower this shape dashboard. Control E to centralize it. So you select it and press Ctrl D into 5 places. Let's set the first one so that it will follow our position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So let's change the name.
It's actually 7. Customer. Let's change the field to match what we have already used for our sheets. Select it and go to shape format. Select shape field to select the color used. To create our hyperlink for the sheet, select the shape, right click and click on link. Select place in the document and select the appropriate sheet. The last one is the customer. I'll select the customer. So let's test whether what we have done is working. So dashboard, that's the then purchase. So what we'll do is to copy dashboard to all the sheets. To select this shape, you right click because the left mouse will not be able to select it. So let's position all the other shape. So our hyperlink is functioning. Applying here. So let's go to purchase to start the data validation that will connect our stock, our product code from the stock. So that will connect this from the table. So we'll go to the first row in our table. Go to data, hit on data validation, select list, use this arrow to go to the stock, select all the product codes. Notice the arrow. This arrow will select all the column of that table. So we now have the product codes. So the next data validation we'll need the data validation that will connect the supplier information with the supplier detail. Okay. So we'll go to supplier detail, that's supplier name, and go to data again, data validation, list, supplier information, use the arrow again, so the validation is functioning. So the next thing that we'll need to get is the product description. So our product description, where is it? Is on the stock. So we're going to use VLOOKUP to get that. To do that, we'll say VLOOKUP equals to VLOOKUP. The lookup value is the code, and the table array is, remember we titled our table array properly, so type is stock. Select our table array, comma, the column index. Let's go to check what we are looking for. You can see the table array have been selected, so we are looking for the product description. Count 1, 2, which is product description to get the information. And we are now asked whether we are looking for approximate match or exact match, and we are looking for exact match. Close your formula. You can see. So the next thing we are going to get information is the unit price. So type VLOOKUP again. And lookup value is this table that we are looking for is stock, and the index for the price is 1, 2, 3. That's 3. True or false? We say false. We want exact match. That's that. So having gotten the unit price for our product, we are going to use the product function to determine the total amount for the product. So we'll say product quantity unit price. Paid amount is the amount paid, so that will be entered by the seller. Okay, so we'll use the tab to add another table row. So you can notice there is an error that is coming out when the product code have not been selected. So you're going to use if error function to change that. So come to the first VLOOKUP function, say if error, Control End, comma, empty. That is if error, the value of our formula in the VLOOKUP, then value if error is empty. So that one is sorted. Come to the second VLOOKUP, come through home, say if error Control End, comma, value if error, say empty. Put in a selection. So let's do the date function. We want a situation whereby when this product code is selected, the date timestamp will appear. And we are going to do that by using what we call iteration function in Microsoft Excel. For us to achieve that, we have to go to our formula option, click on more, go to formula, and select enable iteration, select 1. That is, we want the maximum iteration to be 1. So click OK. So we will now use if function to determine the date timestamp. So say equals to if product code, that is when product code is selected, and the logical test is if product code is less than or greater than or empty, comma, value if true. So value if true, we use that to start another if function. So if this date, that is B6, if B6 is equals to if B6 is equals to empty, comma, value if true. Value if true, we want to use the value if true to start a today or now function. So type now, close our bracket, value if false. Value if false, want to return the B, the date that is there, that is B6. This is not correct, so put in B6 here. So the value we want to return if value if false is B6, bracket close, value if false, value if false, we want to return empty. Don't forget to set up your date. So in one case we selected this. Let's change what we selected. Let's use between 4 hours time stamp. Can either select this or the second one. Okay. Let's delete this so that we'll test our formula. You can see the date timestamp and the dates is there. Let's delete the second one. So that is that. To achieve that, enter your invoice number. Let's use 001 002. For this to be coming out, for 001 and 002 to be coming out, we need to change our number formatting for that column and use test. Okay. So we are through with this table. We can run more of it by adding more table column. So we have completed the formula for this table and all the necessary function. The only thing remaining is here we input the information that is like the paid amount, the quantity. So you can just put in quantity. Let's put 5 here. Then 5 again. So our function is functioning effectively. This area that equals to amount and this one, I can use currency to denote it. Okay, I go to the number function, go to currency, go to symbol. We are in Nigeria, so let's use Nigeria to represent our country. Okay, pick OK. So let's change the number function, the number decimal to 0. So that is that. We can also do that here, but let's use the copy function and paste as format. So we are pasting format. So let's assume this supplier was paid let's 10,000 1,000 for this product. Can see it has come down. What we did now, we just copied the format to the entire row. Okay, so we are through with this table. So we'll continue on the next sheet with the sales activities. So we'll get the data for the product code, and that is, put your cursor on the cell, go to data validation, select list, use the arrow, locate the stock for the product code, enter arrow, hit OK. Then for the supplier name, no, this is not supplier, this should be the customer name. Okay, so put the customer name there. Customer name. So do the data validation for the customer name. Data validation lists. Come to the customer name. Use the arrow to select all. Enter. Hit OK. Okay. Drag it down. This one down too. Okay, so here we'll change the format to text format. Text. Okay, now generate the product information using VLOOKUP. First VLOOKUP. The lookup array, the product code, command. The table array is stock. The table column index number is 3. Okay, it's 3. Approximate or exact match. We want exact match. So we apply our if error to get this column in order. If error, control end, comma value, if error, empty. Okay, close. The quantity is manual. The unit price generated with the product function. No, this is not. The unit price will be generated again with VLOOKUP, and that is VLOOKUP. Lookup value to the product code, comma, table array stock, comma, column index number is 3, comma, true or false, false. We're looking for exact match. Close. If error, control end, value if error empty. Okay, close. amount equals to product quantity, comma, unit price. Okay, close. Paid amount is manual input. Okay, let's check what I've done. Very good. This is not correct. It should be product information. That is 2. Okay, so let's change the format option for this whole area because this is currency. So go to currency, go to the symbol, look for our currency naira as Nigeria. Reduce the decimal place to 0. I think we are good to go. So now the next thing is the date timestamp. Remember we have set the formula option to enable iteration. So we'll start again here with if function. If product code is less than or greater or empty, comma, value, another if function, if what's the name of this cell? C7. If C7 is equal to empty, comma, value if true, want a null function. Okay, close. Value if false, want to return basis as C7, bracket close. Value if false again, want to return empty. Let's check it out. So I have to change the format option of the date to date and time using 24 hours. Okay, so we'll drag it down. Okay. Okay. So let's just put 5,000 here. So as they say, this customer paid 5,000 for this product. Let's increase it to 100,000. Paid 100,000 for this product, whereas the amount is 500,000. So we'll go to the return sheet. We'll get the data validation for the stock product code. Just like the same process, go to data validation lists, use the arrow to locate the points in our stock, use the arrow to enter it, hit OK, drag it down to move it to all the columns. Do another perform another data validation for the customer name. Go to the customer side. Invoice number, set the format. Set the format to text. Product description, use VLOOKUP to look up the value. Table array, we are looking for stock. The index number we are looking out for is 2. Approximate or exact match, want exact match, bracket close. Use the if error function to remove error. So if error, control end. If error, value if error is empty, bracket close. Quantity will be done manually. Any price, we generate it with the VLOOKUP again. VLOOKUP. Look up the lookup value is the product code. The table array is the stock. Index number is 3. Value exact match or approximate match, want exact match. To remove error, we use the if error function. Control home. If error, control end. Value if error empty. Amount will be done with product function. Products. The quantity and unit price. Paid amount will be done manually. So change the formatting option for this to currency. Continue to use our currency, Naira. Hit OK. We change the decimal places to 0. So we generate the date timestamp with if function. The code test is if product code is less than or greater than or empty. The value to return is another if C 6. Notice the reason why we are not using this selection because it will not be able to select it because we are using iteration function on the same cell we are calculating. So we are calculating directly on the cell, so we may not be able to select the cell. Okay, so that's why we are using the cell code. So, and the cell is C6. So it says C6. If C6 is equal to empty, comma, the value to return is the value if it is true is a noun function, bracket close, comma, value if false is still C6, bracket close. So value if false again is empty, bracket close. Drag it down. So let's make our selection. Okay, we have now changed the table, the column formatting. So we'll format the date with 24 hours time with date. Okay, that is now reflecting. So we'll select again. So that will also format. We'll also format this invoice function to text. Okay, I've already formatted it. So let's input all the so that is that.
So far we've been able to calculate all the necessary function in our sheet. So, and we are going to go into the next stage, which is to get summary of our stock and the summary of our supplier, amount paid to supplier, and the closing balance. We'll do for the customer, the sales amount, amount paid, and closing balance. So we are going to start with the stock to know the total purchase quantity, the total sales quantity, the total return quantity, the closing quantity, the closing value, and we're going to use the if function to get the stock status. So we'll start with the purchase quantity. So put our cursor in the purchase. Let's see. SUMIF, we're going to use the SUMIF function. So which range are we going to look for? We are going to look for the purchase, and the range we are looking at is the product code. Okay, bracket cross, comma, the range criteria. The criteria we are going to calculate is on stock. Select it here, comma. The sum range, where are we getting the sum from, is from the purchase. Bracket open. So where is the sum and its quantity? Bracket close. Bracket close. So I've gotten the total quantity of purchase from the purchase activity, that is the stock in. So we'll get the total sales quantity. Use the SUMIF again.
So sum if the range is on cells. The range criteria, the range that we are getting is on the product code. Come on. The range criteria is on the stock, that is the stock product codes, and the sum range is still on cells. And what we are looking for in cells is the quantity, bracket close, bracket close. So this is the total cells quantity. Okay, so we'll get that of return, say equals to sum if the sum range is on return, and we're looking for the product code. Come on, the criteria is here on the stock, and the sum range is on return, bracket open, and we're looking for the quantity of return, bracket close. So I've gotten that. So the closing quantity, for us to get that, we are going to get what we have in the opening quantity, what we have purchased in, what we have sold, that is out, what we have returned, that is in. So we have 3 in and 1 out. So we say equals to opening plus purchase plus return minus quantity sold equals to, okay, so this is the closing quantity after sales. Okay, so we're going to get the closing value, that is the total value of our products at the close of business. So that is equals to products unit price, that's the unit price of the product, and the closing quantity, bracket close. Okay, so let's copy the cell format of this currency and put here. Okay, so that is that. So I've gotten the summary of quantity in the close of business. So I've been able to get the closing quantity and closing value of our product. So the next thing we do is to get the status, whether the product is available, whether it is of low availability, whether it is excessive in our stock. So, and these options have to be determined by the owner. So they might decide to say that if the quantity in the stock, if the closing quantity is less than 10, that we should call it a low, call it low stock. Okay, low stock. So if it is greater than
if it is greater than or equals to 10. So if it is greater or equals to 10, we should call it available stock. Available stock. Okay. If it is greater than if it is greater than 50, if it is greater than 50, we should call it excess stock. So we are assuming that this criteria is what the organization have been set to determine when they have a low stock, when they accept that the stock is available, and when they accept that the stock is excessive in quantity. So now to get this argument in the system, we are going to use the if function, and we'll say equals to if logical test. The logical test is with the closing quantity. So if we are saying that if the quantity is greater than 50, if the quantity is greater than 50, comma, the value to return if it's greater than 50 is inverted comma open excess stock. Excess stock inverted comma close. Value if false. The value if false, we use it to start a new argument and say if closing quantity is greater than or equals to 10, comma, value if true, inverted comma open. We are using this because it's a test function. Value if true is available stock. Value if false, that means it will be less than 10. So another inverted comma open, right, stock, low stock, bracket close. We did two functions, so we'll put another bracket close again. Now notice how I started from the highest value and ended with the lowest value. That will enable the condition to be set correctly. Okay, so that's the tips. We say equals to. So I've done the formatting to determine the argument that have been or the condition that have been set. So you can see all the stock is above, is greater than 10. So it's termed as available stock. Okay, so now let's go and start making purchase and sales. So that we'll see how all these parameters will be displayed. So go to purchase, that is to stock in our goods. Let's put down table up to 15. Let's get it to 16. Let's put this global down. Okay. See the time of change. So the supplier, let's use Syria. Okay. Remember that you have to select the appropriate
supply, and when you are filling it in, we're only trying to fasten the process of our data entry. So put in the serial number, the quantity. Let's make all our purchase quantity to be 50. Okay. Paid amount. Let's put some paid amount here. On the paid, say 100,000 paid. Here, 1 million paid, 100,000. Okay, let's change the number formatting. Currency. Okay. So now let's make cells and record our cells. To move to the next row, just use tab and take it down. So this is the time of cell. Let's serially select the customer, the reverse number, the quantity. Let's put quantity. Let's say this one is 15. 15. This one is 10. This one is 5. This one is 30. This one is 15. This one is 40. This one is 45. This one is 10. This one is 25. This one is 1, 3. Okay. Let's go to the return. So return. So our customer made some return back to our store for one reason or the other. Okay. So let's say the return 2, return 1 here, return 2, return 5, return 1. Okay. So let's check our stock. We can see we now have our stock functioning accordingly. So we're going to use conditional formatting to set the color of our stock status so that we can quickly see the status using color. Okay, so use the arrow to select the stock status and go to conditional formatting because we want to put it all of them once. So we're going to use conditional formatting to set the color of our stock status, and we are going to select the stock status, go to conditional formatting. Because we want to put the whole condition at once, we use the manage rule and say new rule. Format only cells that contain a particular specific text. And we use this arrow to locate the text. The low stock should be, the format color should be red. This red is too thick. Let's use more colors to reduce the color of the red. Put a light red. Okay. Hit OK. Hit OK. Then we'll set another rule. So for myself, I'll contain a specific text. Available stock. Available stock should be green. So we use green color, light green. Available stock. Hit OK. So the next one should be excess stock. That should be dark green. So we use color that kind of match the condition. Okay. Okay. Let's check this one again. Specific test. Okay. So apply. So you can see we have not been able to use color to see the status of our stock. So at a quick look, you will see that the low stock is 5. That is product 001 is having low supply or low stock. So it's 5, and you can see it's less than 10, which is the parameter we'll set. So the one that is excessive is over 50, you can see 61, and the ones that are available is greater than or equals to 10. You can see available stock 32, 32, 30, and so on. You can see that the light green is showing available, they are greater than 10. So that is that. We'll now move to the summary of the supply. Okay, the purchase activity from the supplier. So we are going to get that now, and we are going to use the sum if function. Write again sum if the range criteria is purchase, so type purchase, bracket open. So what we are looking at is the supplier name, bracket close, comma. So the criteria is the supplier, bracket close. The sum range is the purchase, bracket open, and we are looking at the amount, bracket close, bracket close. That is the purchase amount. Okay, so now the next thing we'll calculate is the amount paid, to the supplier. So say sum if sum range is there, sum range is the purchase, bracket open. What are we looking at? We are looking at the paid amount, bracket close, comma. The criteria is the supplier, comma, and the sum range is the purchase, bracket open. Now, so we are going to calculate the amount paid, and we say sum if sum range is, the sum range is from the purchase, so I'll say purchase, bracket open, and we'll select the supplier then. The criteria is the supplier, comma. Criteria is the supplier, comma. And the sum range is the purchase, bracket open, paid amount, bracket close. So we calculate the closing balance by saying equals to the closing balance is the opening balance plus purchase balance minus amount paid. So we're going to say opening balance plus purchase minus amount paid. So let's use our number formatting for this whole area. Currency. Where is our currency? Nigeria, Naira. Reduce the decimal places to 0. So this is the closing balance. So also get the closing balance, the amount paid, and the total purchase for the customer. Okay. So we'll say the cell column will say equals to sum if the sum range is the cells, bracket open, the customer name, bracket close. The sum criteria is the customer, comma, and the sum range is the cells. That is amount, bracket close, bracket close. We get the amount paid by saying equals to sum if the sum range is on the cells, comma, and that is the cells name, okay, close, comma. The sum criteria is customer name, comma, and the sum range is on cells also. And we are looking at the amount paid, okay, close. Notice the reason why I'm selecting the name of the table, because we have already titled it, and for you to see the name, let's select any place on the table. We go to the table name. You see customer, supplier, see the name is supplier, stock, the name is stock, name is return, sales is name is sales, purchase, name is purchase. So always title your table with the right name so that you can use it and be making your calculation easily. Okay, so let's select the closing balance to calculate it, and we'll say equals to opening balance plus sales minus amount paid. That's the closing balance for. That is the closing balance. So let's calculate, let's put the number format to Naira, to our currency.
Okay, so we are good to go. So far we've been able to calculate our purchase, the sales, so that's so good so far. And we can say we've been able to put function for our purchase, our sales, and our return. And we've been able to get summary for our stock, then summary of our supply and customer. And also we've been able to set the stock status condition, whereby we're able to know the low stock, the excess stock, and the available stock. So that is a lot of tasks that we have already done today, and we are going to continue on the next stage. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll meet on the next one. Thank you and remain blessed.